less than 1.1% success rate. So that is very brutal. This competition can be very brutal. And therefore that requires a lot of ruthless preparation from your end. अगर आपके GS पेपर 1 में बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स आते हैं, which is above the cut off for the GS पेपर 1, लेकिन अगर आप CSAT का पेपर क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाते हैं, well आपका प्रीलिम्स के जो चांसेस हैं वो डिस्क्वालिफाइड हो जाते हैं, आप आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे. Without solving previous year question papers, you will not be able to gauge that what would be the difficulty level of the UPSC. So I mean, this is like that you're playing cricket without watching any past matches. See, understand one thing, that reading 3 newspapers or watching 4 or 5 YouTube channels and their current affairs content is not what UPSC preparation is all about. Now, what separates the 1.1% from the 98.9%? Let us also understand that this 1.1% category of people, they are not chasing content blindly and they are not in a rush to download so many PDFs just for the sake of getting the PDFs as trophies. No, they are being very, very selective and they are being very, very smart in terms of following their strategy and content. Most of you might be wanting to know that why do 98.9% of the aspirants applying for UPSC, they end up failing the prelims paper. And if you want to know this answer, you're at the right place, and I am your educator Kuuber on the SleepyClasses platform, and I'm going to discuss 8 important reasons that why do people end up not making it to the prelims. We all know that prelims ko clear karna is the entry ticket to give the mains examination, but there are many people who don't end up clearing this prelims paper. Let's understand that every year there are more than 10 lakh applications. 10 lakh aspirants apply for this exam, but only 12 to 13,000 people, depending upon the vacancies kitni di gayi hain, wo prelims ka paper clear karte hain, and that is less than 1.1% success rate. So that is very brutal. This competition can be very brutal. And therefore that requires a lot of ruthless preparation from your end. Now I'm going to discuss 8 important reasons in this video, but before I proceed ahead, I also want to tell you an important piece of information. अगर आप self study कर रहे हैं या अगर आप UPSC की preparation आगे जाके भी self study से ही करना चाहेंगे, तो एक study planner हमने बनाया बहुत comprehensively. अब इसको download करने के लिए आपको वीडियो के description में link मिल जाएगा. इस self study planner को download जरूर कर लीजिएगा. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now, understand one thing, that the first reason that why do people end up failing the prelims exam is that they end up treating this paper that it is only a paper of facts. No, nowadays prelims is not only testing your factual knowledge, it is not only testing कि आप कितने अपने facts को mug up कर सकते हैं, लेकिन UPSC ने अब थोड़ा shift किया है towards analytical elimination. And you will also see कि एक particular question में 2 या 2 से ज्यादा सब्जेक्ट्स का एप्लीकेशन भी देखने को मिलता है. ऑलराइट, सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी स्मार्ट in terms of guessing. You should not take blind guesses, and you need to have a very logical guessing approach which will end up rewarding you marks. So the tip is that you need to master the elimination techniques and understand कि UPSC कैसे traps lay out कर रहा है आपके सामने by examining the question paper. Number 2, well, people end up ignoring CSAT until it's too late, and many people think कि CSAT तो हो ही जाएगा. ये बहुत बड़ा myth है. Many serious aspirants, even in their initial attempts, they end up failing by 1 or 2 marks in the CSAT, even though they have scored more marks in the GS paper. Now understand one thing, CSAT is a qualifying paper जिसमें हमको 33% marks लेके आने होते हैं. 33% of 200. अगर 33% of 200 marks हमारे CSAT के पेपर में आ रहे हैं, तो ही हमारा जो GS का पेपर, जो GS पेपर 1 है, प्रीलिम्स का जो जनरल स्टडीज पेपर 1 है, तो ही उसके जो मार्क्स हैं वो कंसिडर करे जाएंगे और आगे जाके आपको पता लगेगा कि आपने प्री क्लियर करा कि नहीं करा. लेकिन अगर आपके GS पेपर 1 में बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स आते हैं, which is above the cut off for the GS पेपर 1, लेकिन अगर आप CSAT का पेपर क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाते हैं, well आपका प्रीलिम्स के जो चांसेस हैं वो डिस्क्वालिफाइड हो जाते हैं, आप आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे. Alright, so you need to practice CSAT at least 3 months before the exam along with the regular GS mocks. Number 3 is over-reliance and over-dependency on coaching material. So understand one thing, कि finishing coaching notes or just watching YouTube lectures is not going to help you. It is not enough, and UPSC is demanding a lot of conceptual clarity, application of mind, and also repetitive revision. So please understand one thing, you have to use the standard books as the core, and coaching is something which is a add-on, something which is supplementing or complementing your preparation. Now, many people, they don't end up doing any PYQ practice. This is point number 4. So without solving previous year question papers, you will not be able to gauge that what would be the difficulty level of the UPSC. So I mean, this is like that you're playing cricket without watching any past matches. So you need to analyze, understand one thing, whichever year you end up giving your prelims, analyze 10 years, minimum 10 years of the PYQs to understand the evolving and changing pattern of UPSC in terms of asking the questions. And then accordingly, you will get to know that what are the priority topics and what are certain topics which you can do without. Number 5, neglecting current affairs. See, understand one thing, that reading 3 newspapers or watching 4 or 5 YouTube channels and their current affairs content is not what UPSC preparation is all about. What matters is that you have an opinion, you have an issue-based preparation, not that you're just consuming news on and on. So therefore, you follow the monthly compilations, try to link them with the static knowledge you have, but also make very sure that whatever news you're consuming on a day-to-day basis, that has relevance to the syllabus of the UPSC. Number 6, well, many people end up having so many sources, but there is not enough time for them for revision. Now, aspirants, they keep on collecting whatever PDFs they keep on getting on Telegram, on WhatsApp, on YouTube, and the game over here is not to collect the PDFs. What is the end result of collecting so many PDFs? It's confusion, and you will not be able to actively recall. So the limited resources you follow, and the more times you revise it, multiple times you revise it, the better it is. That will increase your probability to crack the prelims paper. Point number 7, lack of mock test strategy. Now, just by giving 40 tests, which is, so every test will have 100 questions, so 40 tests would have 4,000 questions. So by giving 4,000 or 5,000 MCQs will not really resolve the purpose unless you don't end up analyzing whatever mistakes you're doing in your mock test. And you need to learn that how you can attempt smartly. You also need to learn, giving through mock test, that what is your sweet spot, that how many questions you attempt, और उस हिसाब से आपका कितना स्कोर आ रहा है. आपके जो क्वेश्चंस गलत हुए हैं, जब तक आपने उसको एनालाइज नहीं करा, आपने उसके नोट्स नहीं बनाए, आपने वो डायरी नहीं बनाई हुई, तब तक आप वो सेम गलतियां बार बार करते रहोगे और आपको यह नहीं पता लगेगा कि आपकी मिस्टेक्स कौन सी हो रही है. कंसेप्चुअल क्वेश्चंस की हो रही है, करंट अफेयर्स क्वेश्चंस की हो रही है, फैक्ट्स में हो रही है. तो इस बात का अंदाजा लगाने के लिए आपको अपनी मॉक टेस्ट स्ट्रैटेजी को बहुत ज्यादा रीओरिएंट करने की जरूरत है. एंड नंबर 8 इज ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ बर्नआउट. There is a lot of exertion which happens while preparing for this exam, and of course that can lead to a lot of anxiety and stress as well. So follow a routine, take small breaks, and also keep on talking to the mentors. Also keep on engaging with the mentors. Engage with them, ask your doubts, and also try to sleep well before the exam. Of course, I mean, I'm not saying that you have to sleep for 10 hours, but try to make sure that you have a good 6 to 7 hours of sleep before the exam. Now, what separates the 1.1% from the 98.9%? Let us also understand that this 1.1% category of people, they are not chasing content blindly, and they are not in a rush to download so many PDFs just for the sake of getting the PDFs as trophies. No, they are being very, very selective, and they are being very, very, smart in terms of following their strategy and content. Number 2, they solve the PYQs very, very religiously. Right? They understand the importance of the previous year question paper. Number 3, they revise ruthlessly. If this competition is so brutal, if the competition is so ruthless, so your preparation also has to be very, very ruthless. You need to revise multiple times before you end up giving your prelims paper. And also they practice the mock test in a very, very smart manner. They're not just doing mocks for the sake of it, but they're analyzing their mistakes, noting them down, and also through that they're adding a lot of value to their pre-existing knowledge. And lastly, they are also taking CSAT very seriously. They're not taking CSAT lightly. No matter whatever your background is, you're coming from a technical background, you're coming from a management background, please take CSAT very, very seriously. So this is all for the video, and I will see you very soon once again. Thank you.